Was skumma geistgrößen, what not was skumma geistgrößen, what not is your Blazing Metal, the Raging Sun, the Blazing Star, right back with another one, I'm saying. Is your favorite fellow Mellow, the Raging Sun, the Blazing Star, right back with another one, yes sir. And today I'm not going to be up here for too long because I have to be somewhere in like a couple minutes, not even a couple minutes, but I have to be somewhere soon, so let's just make this one a short one, a rather short one. Even though I always say I make this a short one, but I stay here for like hours and some shit like that, man. But anyways, let's just don't get straight to the point. Let's just still keep our sweet time because it's not good to be pressured by reality or people, as a matter of fact, in general. You shouldn't put anybody's expectations above your goddamn priorities, but we will dive into that shit later on because this shit is actually conducive to the title. But anyways, my guys and my girls and my whatnot was good, y'all shout y'all out, we right back with another one. And in today's live stream, we will talk about how you shouldn't dim your light for people who stay in the motherfucking dark. And we ain't physically speaking right here. We are not talking about the physical dark. We're talking about some mental natures, some mental metaphorical natures, you know what I'm saying? So, really the live stream is the whole takeaway. I meant to say the title is really the whole takeaway of this live stream, but let's just dive into the details and into the specifics of the goddamn topic, shall we, ladies and gentlemen, shall we? Shall we, ladies and gentlemen? But before we dive into anything, let me drink something, you know what I'm saying? I'm dry like a motherfucker today for some strange reason. It's like one of these days in which I'm thirsty no matter what I drink. I know. I'm always drinking like every damn second in my life, but usually the reason for that is I don't take any breathers. I talk in one sentence almost. I don't take no breaks. I have no goddamn... I don't stop when I talk. So I have to like drink something immediately because my throat gets sore. I don't take any pauses. I just go straight in one train of thought type shit. I speak in one sentence, you know what I'm saying? It's like crazy, it's like some crazy shit, man. And I also talk very fast. So anytime I'm making a live stream, I have to really slow my ass down because in real life, everybody who knows me in real life knows this. I double time when I speak. I fucking double time. I don't talk fast. I fucking double time when I speak. So anytime I'm making a live stream, I try to calm myself down. It's not because I'm nervous, but I possess a fast tongue. No more pause. I possess a very fast and sharp tongue. A huge pause, man. But anyways, enough bullshit. Let's just actually dive into the topic. You shouldn't dim your light for people who live in the dark, who live in darkness, so to speak. Damn. Holy shit, man. Holy fucking shit, man, what the fuck? Some big ass goddamn cloud of air was sitting in my stomach, man, what the fuck? I was eating some nasty ass shit today, man, some nasty ass noodles, man. Them noodles were like, they tasted good, but afterwards I felt disgusting eating that shit, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, you shouldn't. Now let's just dive into the topic, man. No more goofy ass talking points, you know what I'm saying? No more fucking goofy ass talking points. Actually, I'm doing this on purpose to like not get straight to the point because I don't believe in rushing things. So, anybody who dims their light for people doesn't realize that the people who you're dimming your light for are living in darkness. You shouldn't dim your light for people who live in the goddamn darkness. And what does this metaphor even mean? Because not everybody is artistically inclined. Not everybody understands vivid and imaginary lingo. Not even imaginary, but more like vivid and elusive lingo. You shouldn't dim your light for people who live in the dark. There was like a bigger synchronicity. When I said you shouldn't dim your light, my light was dimming. That shit was crazy. Because when you dim your light, this is a metaphor, like a proverb, which is pointing towards you cutting certain parts of yourself out. You kinda holding back on your truest natures for the sake of not being seen a certain way. You know what I'm saying? This is what dimming your light means. You are dimming your light, mentally speaking or like metaphorically speaking. Goddamn. Anytime you like kinda holding yourself back from expressing your true self for people. And this is what everybody's doing and this is what nobody subconsciously realizes. Anytime you try to dim your light for the sake of people, you don't look at the person actually. There's like a weird psychological phenomenon in this world, which is like everybody looks at themselves and they don't look at people. Because I guarantee you, when you truly look at the individual you're talking to, you see that this person ain't shit. Because you cannot see the true nature of that person. You're like glorifying everybody else who you're talking to. Because you don't have any clarity to who you're even talking to, you know what I'm saying? You cannot really see who is right next to you. Because you are glorifying people. You put them on a pedestal without seeing reality. And this even happens because you're too busy wrestling with yourself before you even see the reality of somebody else, how somebody truly is and what kind of person that person truly is. You are too busy wrestling with yourself. You're too busy trying to argue with yourself. I shouldn't express myself in this way. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't reveal myself in this way. I shouldn't say this right now, you see? And before you can actually see the other person, everything you do is really just fucking your own self. You're shoving your dick in your own ass type shit, you know what I'm saying? On some nasty ass shit, man. Meaning, before you actually have enough clarity to look at the other person, you're all lost inside of yourself. So, people who are truly ashamed, people who truly dim their light, are people who are too egotistical. Because, listen, this is kind of contradictory and this is kind of confusing because when you see somebody who's ashamed of themselves, you wouldn't think that this person is egotistical, but that person actually is egotistical. Let me explain. God damn! I had some nasty ass noodle today, man. And after eating these noodles, I have to keep on goddamn burping. What the fuck? I'll never eat before a live stream again, man. This was like that was like a fucking retarded ass idea. But anyways, somebody who's ashamed 24/7 thinks that everybody is looking at them for some strange reason. Like when you walk into that McDonald's, you think everybody's looking at you. It's like, what? Who on earth are you? People are just trying to go to McDonald's and get their McChicken and go home. Nobody looks at you type shit. And somebody who is ashamed too much, somebody who dims their light, somebody who does everything to be seen in a better way, is a person who thinks every single body is looking at them, which is very far away from reality. That shit is not even a real thing, and reality nobody gives a fuck about you. Because let's just put things into perspective. When you go to McDonald's, do you pay attention to everybody? No! You only pay attention to you. So what makes you think everyone else is just paying attention to you? Everybody else is busy trying to pay attention to their own ass, which is like fucking weird. Now we have people being ashamed of each other, but nobody's looking at them. That shit is like goofy as hell, if you ask me, man. That shit is like goofy as a motherfucker. But anyways, let's just dive into another point. Another point I'd like to address is this right here. Check this out. Not this, but hold on a second. Check this out. Anytime somebody is dimming their light, which is like a metaphor for somebody who's repressing themselves. Somebody who's repressing their true sides is oftentimes trying to have one thing accomplished. They try to accomplish one thing right here. They try not to be judged. They try not to be judged, right? But the people from which they're so afraid of being judged by are people who ain't doing shit whatsoever. They ain't doing shit whatsoever. Not a single damn productive thing in their whole life. You know what I'm saying? It goes like this. You can only be truly judged if you have something about yourself, no matter how minute. For example, you can only be judged because you make content. You can only be judged because you are looking a certain way, because you wear a goddamn crazy ass hairstyle, you know what I'm saying? You only can be judged because you are doing something. Somebody who's doing nothing all day cannot be judged. Because for what are you trying to judge somebody who's doing nothing all day? So get this in your head, man. You can only be judged if you are doing something. And people who are doing something are the most judged people on planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? For example, nobody judges a homeless person. I mean, they do, but not for productive reasons. Like, somebody, let's just make it an even better example. Somebody who's on TikTok all day doing nothing, they are not judged. Or rather, they're not judged as often as somebody who's productive. Somebody who's very productive, somebody who's all out and about there we go. This is what I was like leading to. Somebody who's all out and about, somebody who's all out and about, somebody who's able to be seen, essentially, right? Is somebody who's the most liable and the most susceptible to be judged. For instance, A lot of people judge a celebrity because a celebrity can be seen on the internet. A celebrity can be seen because that celebrity is doing something, right? So, a lot of people judge that celebrity way more than they judge somebody who ain't doing shit all day. So somebody who is being judged, most often than not, is doing something. So get this in your head. And let's just dive into the other side. Somebody who's doing nothing all day is not judged. Or like at least judged on a very low percentage scale. Like once in a blue moon they're judged on some goofy shit, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they're like judged once every 10,000 years for walking down the street a certain way. But even then, you are judged only because you are doing things. So get this in your head, man. People who are judging are doing something. Or like people not who are judging, people who receive judgment are doing something. So who on earth are you embarrassed of? Who on earth are you fearing when it comes to receiving judgment? People who ain't doing shit? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Shout out to Mr. Mysterio. You said, in native traditions, people who are dark are people with extreme trauma. Then they turn into darkness because it's nature's that makes sense. I can see why this makes sense, because darkness can be interpreted in a way of like negativity, but I'm like talking in darkness as in not expressing themselves type shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking like in a different context. The context I'm leading to, actually this is like the own context, actually this is right. People who live in darkness are people who are like doing nothing all day, who are just in their desires all day. And people who judging are in darkness because people are doing nothing all day. So actually this is right. So actually this is conducive to the title, man. I see that shit, man. I can see how this shit makes sense, man. You said even in African tribal tradition they spoke about this, yeah. Like tribal and like cults, not even cults, but like very native and traditional type of knowledge. It's damn near always on point, not even damn near, like damn near always on point. They're always on point because they live in reality, they don't live in a synthetic ass world, man. So native tribes such as Native Americans and even certain African tribes, you know what I'm saying, they know. They know because they can see reality clearly. They are not distracted by social media because they don't have social media type shit, you know what I'm saying? You love him ass or make chicken, yeah, some good ass make chicken, man. Some poisonous ass, yeast infected ass McChicken. Like the last time I went to like McDonald's was like in 2018 and I got sick after eating a Big Mac. And after that I never went to McDonald's a single day in life again. A single day in my life again. Like McDonald's have missed me with that bullshit, man. Might as well just eat a dead rat which is lying on the street, you know what I'm saying? Before I go to McDonald's and eat something, I'd rather eat a dead mouse which got just run over by a car. It's as healthy as eating a McChicken, and I wouldn't be surprised if eating a dead mouse would be more healthy than eating a McChicken, you know what I'm saying? Just saying, just saying, man, just saying. I don't fuck with McDonald's whatsoever, man. I don't fuck with fast food whatsoever, man. You know what I'm saying? I used to fuck with fast food heavy, especially Burger King, but that shit, nah, man. I just can't eat fast food no more. I just cannot eat fast food anymore, man. That shit is like atrocious. Like, miss me with that bullshit. Anytime I ate fast food, I felt like ass. I felt like I'm dying. I felt like I'm like 10,000 pounds heavier. You know what I'm saying? I just cannot eat fast food no more. I just fucking can't. Like, as a kid, you don't notice shit. As a kid, you just eat anything. You just eat candy, you drink soda all day. But when you get older, I'm talking like I'm like in my goddamn 40s, but when you get older, when you go through puberty, you see how fucking ass things really are as far as food. Like, I cannot eat as much candy as I used to because now I'm like more sensitive towards unhealthy shit, you know what I'm saying? It's just a thing when you grow up, man. When you're like a child, you're like goddamn immune towards goddamn everything and you just eat candy like it's nothing. But when you get older, your body gets more sensitive. Even though I'm not old, I'm like 20. But y'all know the drill, man. Y'all know the fucking drill. Y'all know the fucking drill. But that's besides the fact, man. That's besides the fact, man. That's besides the fucking fact, man. Let's just talk about the facts, and let's just keep on talking about the facts. Somebody who's judging is in darkness, as I was saying, and as Mr. Mysterio was saying, shout you out. Somebody who's judging is in darkness, in every sense of the word. Because somebody who's being judged is being seen for something. For instance, I can only be judged for my content because right now I'm able to be seen. It's as simple as that, man. Somebody who's being judged is in the light, so to speak, like in the light, quote unquote in the light, you know what I'm saying? It's like a metaphor, not in the literal light, even though this manifests as you being in the literal light anyways, but that's besides the fact. Somebody who's being judged is in the light. You can only be judged if you are seen for shit. If you can be seen for shit in general, period. You know what I'm saying? I can be judged for making content because I can be seen making content right now in this split second and in future split seconds. You know what I'm saying? So get this in your head. You can only be judged when you are doing something. And people who are judging you are not doing anything because that's just life's nature. If you ain't doing something, you ain't doing something. Therefore, you cannot be seen. If I'm not doing my live stream right now, I'm not doing my live stream. Hence, I couldn't be seen for making a live stream. So when you are not doing something, you cannot be seen. You just can't. You cannot be in the sunlight. You cannot initiate action. When you initiate action, when you are in the sunlight, you are doing something and now you can be seen for your action. But when you are not doing something, you cannot be seen. You cannot be in the sunlight. Know what I'm saying? And you cannot even receive attention. You can't receive flowers, you can't receive views, money, attention, motion, bitches, fame, you know what I'm saying? Awards, you name it. You fucking name it, man. So don't be too worried about, not even too, don't be worried whatsoever about people who are judging. Everybody who's judging is not doing something, you know what I'm saying? And even if they claim to do something and they're judging, they ain't doing shit, man. Trust me, they ain't doing shit. They are not doing shit, man. And if they're truly doing something, it's some bullshit anyways. I was eating Takis today. You see, it's just some bullshit. I was jerking off today. I was like goddamn playing Jerkmate rank today. I was playing my goddamn Jerkmate sessions with my Jerkmate duo. You know what I'm saying? It's like crazy. It's like fucking crazy. So don't even be too worried about people who judge you. People who judge you live in darkness. And even in the metaphorical darkness terminology, this is like a more spiritual approach. Shout out to Mystical Mysterio once again. Like in darkness, when you live in darkness, you live in your desires. They even sound the same. Darkness, desires, they even sound the same. This is not for no reason. This is not for no reason. This is not accidental type shit. So somebody who's not doing something and somebody who's judging people 24/7, including you or perhaps you, I hope not, but even then, who gives a fuck? It's not that dramatic. It's not that deep to be judged, but anyways. Somebody who's judging lives in darkness, metaphorically speaking and physically speaking. Not physically speaking, but physically speaking as in not doing anything. If you don't do anything, you cannot be seen. You just cannot be seen. You just can't. If I'm not doing lives, I cannot be seen for being live. It's as simple as that, man. So if you are not doing something, you live in darkness. You get it? It's very easy to understand. Let me repeat myself for the slow people in the back. For the short bus. Me, for the goddamn short bus. Let me talk. Let me repeat myself for the goddamn slow bus. For the slow people in the back. Me, let me repeat myself. You see what I did there? You see what I did there? Anyways. When you're not doing something, you cannot be seen. Period. If you sit on your ass all day, you cannot be seen. You just fucking can't. So, that person who cannot be seen is judging others who can be seen. It's as simple as that, man. Imagine somebody would judge me in my comments right now. That person is not doing anything. They just ain't. They're sitting on their ass watching somebody who's doing something. Me. It's as simple as that, man. And people who are judging live in darkness. Let's just dive into the metaphorical part, the more spiritual part, if you will. Okay? When you live in darkness, when you live in fucking darkness, you live in your desires all day. You are a very lazy person because all you do is indulge. Indulge into pleasures, what feels good, momentary gains, instant gratification, you name it. All that type of, all these things. All these fancy ass, funky ass things you're indulging into. So, that person lives in darkness because you're too busy being in your desires. Hence, you look at people who can be seen. And now you judge people who can be seen because you yourself ain't doing shit. And this is something you shouldn't be afraid of if you are somebody who's doing something. You know, they like to say, action takes courage, which is absolutely right. Action takes courage. Because you have to be courageous enough. And even from a like, how do you say it? The word courage comes from the French word called cœur. And cœur means like heart. To be courageous is to have a heart, is to express your heart, your truest interest, your truest nature, who you truly are. So, I'm saying this to say that, man. When you are doing something, you have to be courageous and you shouldn't be too worried about people who are judging you. Because when you are doing something, you have to be seen. And you have to be brave enough to endure judgment, to endure criticism, to endure goddamn hateful comments, which are of no substance anyways. But besides that, man, You shouldn't be too worried about receiving judgment, because people nowadays, including myself sometimes, I'm not perfect, I'm not fucking perfect. Besides that, I'm a fucking Leo, so who am I to talk, man? Who I am to talk? Trust me, I feel it. I know what it is to be ashamed. I know what it means to be fucking ashamed. I know what it means to be embarrassed 24/7 for no reason. I know what it means to think everybody's watching me, even though nobody's watching me. I know. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. But you shouldn't be afraid of judgment, period. And everybody liked my goddamn live stream. Why are 4 people watching and I have 0 likes? 5 people are watching. Come on. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. It's for free. It's for fucking free. It's for free. It is for free. It is for free, ladies and gentlemen. I don't give a fuck anyways. I don't get any sense if I receive 10,000 likes or 0 likes. I don't receive any money anyway, so I don't give a fuck. Do as you will type shit. So, thank you, somebody liked. Thank you. Now I'm happy. No, I'm just kidding. Who gives a red's flying ass? Like, nothing has changed. There's just a visual number on my screen doing this. You know what I'm saying? Nothing has changed type shit. Nothing has changed type shit. Do as you will. Do as you will. But anyways, I was saying you shouldn't be too worried about being judged anyways. Or like, yeah, you shouldn't be too worried about being judged anyways. Because people who are judging ain't doing shit. You cannot do something and judge somebody at the same time. Somebody at like some high level shit. Somebody on some elite level shit is not judging somebody. And if they do, they're like a bullshit ass person. And they probably won't. It is like very, very, very unlikely to be judged by somebody who's genuinely productive and productive about some good shit. It is extremely unlikely to be judged by somebody who's truly about something. So people who judge ain't doing shit. There's no way around it. If you judge, you ain't doing shit. And you shouldn't be afraid of somebody who ain't doing shit. Especially if you yourself are doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout to Cameron. Shout you out, man. Shout to fucking Cameron. Shout out to goddamn Cameron. Shout you out. So yeah, you shouldn't be too afraid of somebody who's judging, period. Because that person ain't doing shit. Especially if you are doing shit. How can you be afraid of somebody who ain't doing shit? It is like you are now a slave of somebody who's lesser than you. I really hate to call people lesser and more, but in this case, there is no better word to describe that type of goddamn experience, that type of thing. People who ain't doing shit, and when they are judging you and you are doing shit, you're basically just letting somebody who's beneath you try to drag you down. Because people who are dragging down others has to be below somebody else. It goes like this, man. The sun is above you. Somebody who's like a shining ass individual, somebody who's truly about something is above you. Somebody who's truly above you, or like not even truly above you. When you label somebody to be above you, there we go. When you label somebody to be above you, you automatically say that person is more than you. And you try to drag him down, because you say they are above you. You cannot drag somebody down if you don't believe that that person is above you. It's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. So keep that shit in mind. Every time, or like any time, somebody tries to drag you down, inside of their own heart, they genuinely believe that you are above them. So don't even be worried. Don't be worried. And let me tell you something, man. Hit dogs holler. Hit dogs holler. Somebody who's truly hurt, somebody who's truly butthurt for you being you, is going to scream. They are going to be loud. They are going to be like goddamn obnoxiously loud, extremely loud, you know what I'm saying? But somebody who's loud isn't automatically right. Just because somebody's yelling, he ain't shit, you ain't shit, you ain't shit, it doesn't mean that this person is actually right. Just because somebody is screaming 24/7, look at him, that doesn't mean that person is right. Hence we have sayings like hit dogs holler, or like a stomach which is empty roars the loudest. It makes sense. A full stomach is not making any noise. A fulfilled person is not making any loud noises because they are fulfilled. But an empty stomach, whole different story. An empty stomach is screaming. A goddamn unfulfilled person is screaming. You know what I'm saying? It goes very deep. An unfulfilled person is geeking, tweaking, and screaming. Like they swallowed some perkies or some shit like that, man. They're geeking like a motherfucker. They're screaming like the loudest. Because they are unfulfilled. They are geeking, they are tweaking. They are fucking geeking and tweaking to the max. But somebody who's fulfilled, a person who's truly satisfied with their individuality, is not going to scream so loud. Especially not at other people. They won't even talk about others. And they won't even talk negatively at that, man. Or positively. They don't give a fuck about people like that. I'm saying, keep that shit in mind. Hiding yourself for the sake of others, or like dimming your light for the sake of others who are in darkness, is like you wanting to be a slave. You want to be like a fucking slave. It is like you're asking to be a slave, because now everybody's goddamn judgment is above your own. Everybody's opinions are above your own. Everybody's goddamn prejudices are above your own. When you are truly in shame about yourself, just everybody can make you their slave, because you are so ruled by your shame. Shame makes you a slave for no reason, for absolutely no reason. If you truly are about something, when you truly are about something, you can guarantee somebody is going to shame you, somebody is going to judge on you, somebody is going to talk smack about you. But this is why you have to have discernment. That person, look at their life, and I guarantee you won't find shit. You won't find shit which is worthwhile. You wouldn't want to be like that person. So why do you think that person has any importance over your life? Or like that person carries any weight? Or like their opinion carries any weight? It just fucking don't. It's an empty ass statement they're just saying, you know what I'm saying? Stupid ass choice of words, you know what I'm saying? Empty ass saying, you know what I'm saying? But y'all know the drill, man. Y'all know the fucking drill. Y'all know the goddamn drill, motherfuckers. Y'all know the fucking drill, man. You just have to look at people's life. Truly see what somebody is doing, and don't see what they're saying. It goes back to a live stream I once made, which was like titled something like, "You are what you do." Yeah, you are what you do. It is not that you are what you say, you are what you do. And people ain't what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? People are what they're truly doing. So look at somebody's actions, see what somebody's truly doing. When somebody judges you, words carry no weight. Look at their actions. What on earth is that person doing? And I guarantee somebody who judges is not doing anything besides judging, besides looking at you. And that shit is like kind of funny. You would think somebody who's judging you is superior. At least this is what the majority thinks. Somebody judging you is automatically superior. But in all actuality, that person who's judging you is looking at you. You are not looking at them, they are looking at you type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like crazy. When you are judged, somebody's looking at you and judging you. But you ain't looking at them and judging them. So who's more important? Who on earth is more important? The person who's doing shit. The person who's judging is automatically the lesser person, is automatically inferior. Because that person has to be on your show, in your theater, at your stage, to even point at you and come up with an opinion. You know what I'm saying? You ain't at their show, nobody's at their show, hence they are in the audience. Somebody who's judging can never be a star. Somebody who's judging can always be in the audience. Or like, yeah, they can only be in the audience. They can only be in the audience. You cannot be judged by somebody who's on stage. You're only judged by somebody who's in the audience. You know what I'm saying? Nobody on stage is throwing tomatoes at you. You're only receiving tomatoes from the audience, from the goddamn visitor seats. You know what I'm saying? From the goddamn seats, from the people who are sitting down and watching. You know what I'm saying? So keep that shit in mind, man. Keep that shit in fucking mind, man. That's like a good way to put it, man. It just hit my mind. It just hit my mind. That shit, damn, that ass just hit my mind, man. Some life realization type shit. You can only be judged by somebody who's looking at you, and not by a fellow actor. So people who are judging are in your show. They are among your stage. They are in your crowd. They are your crowd. You are not their crowd. You don't watch them perform. They watch you perform. You get what I'm saying? So don't be fucking ashamed. Do not be ashamed, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be ashamed, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be ashamed, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody who's judging is in your audience because they have to see you sit down, find your show, and wait for you to make a move. To even judge. You know what I'm saying? That shit is like crazy, you know? Hold on a sec, I have to put my settings into place. I have to put my goddamn... Oh, there we go. We are straight. We should be straight now. Yeah, there we go. There we fucking go, man. So, as I was saying, receiving judgment is normal. as long as you're acting. You have to understand that, and you have to come to grips with this thing in reality. As long as you are performing, as long as you are pushing out action, people will judge. They will judge. And you cannot stop people from judging. You just can't. But you shouldn't even stop people from things anyways. You should be a person who's strong enough to endure judgment. You should be harsh enough or like tough enough to endure comments so you don't feel embarrassed. And now you don't dim your light for people who sit in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Even in the theater, look at it like this, man. The person acting, the person on the stage, the person expressing is in the light. The spotlight is on you. The attention is on you. And the person in the crowd, the person in the audience is in the dark. You get what I'm saying? It's like a sweet way to put it. This is a very sweet way to put it. When you act on the stage, when you are acting, the light is on you. But somebody in the crowd who's judging and screaming and like throwing tomatoes, they are in darkness. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm fucking saying? It gets no more simpler than that, man. It gets no more simpler than that, man. So don't be concerned. The spotlight is on you, baby. Don't be concerned. Do not be concerned, man. And this is a very fitting theme for the new moon cycle. Because today, like late in the night, the moon will hit Aquarius. The new moon in Aquarius will hit. And we will deal with the opposition between Aquarius and Leo. Judgment versus actor. Opinions versus actions. Talk versus doing. You know what I'm saying? And this is something everybody has to deal with one way or the other. Beyond the moon being beyond the sun and moon being in Aquarius. Everybody has to deal with this. Acting and not being faced by the crowd's opinions. Acting, you being like the Leo, the individual, and not being faced by the crowd, the association, the Aquarius opinions. So this is something which should be one thing you should work upon in this new moon cycle for all my astrological peeps. Don't be too worried about the crowd. Even though the new moon is in Aquarius. Don't be too worried about the crowd. Don't be too worried about who's watching you, who's judging you, who's watching. I always feel like somebody's watching me. On some MJ type shit, or some fucking MJ type shit. You shouldn't be too worried about some Michael Jackson type shit. Don't be worried about who's watching. Who's watching? Nobody's watching. And even if somebody's watching, you don't give a fuck about them. They are watching for a reason. Everybody who's watching is inferior. Not talking literally. But everybody who's watching and who judges negatively is inferior. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with being in the audience. We all have to be in the audience one way or another. It's like a cycle. At one point of time we will act, and in some point of time we will be in the audience. It's like a cycle. We cannot always act and we cannot always be in the audience. You know what I'm saying? But you shouldn't be too worried about the audience anyways. Life is not meant to be too focused on opinions, crowds, judgment, embarrassment, etc. Because the nature of expressing yourself, of acting upon something creatively, business-wise, financially, well, even religiously, scientifically, you name it. Anything which is your interest, which you truly stand for with your individuality, shouldn't be done solely for the sake of a crowd. It should be done solely for the sake of fulfilling yourself. It should be done solely for the sake of making yourself happy. And when you make yourself happy, you don't look at people, you look at yourself. Because how can you make yourself happy if you don't look at yourself in the first place? I'm saying, you cannot focus on making yourself happy if you focus on everybody else. You cannot be a good actor, you cannot perform well if you focus on the crowd 24/7. Do you think after every scene an actor performs, he asks the crowd, how was this scene? Did I do well? How was this acting performance? No, he keeps on acting. You know what I'm saying? He keeps on fucking acting. And this is what everybody needs to do. You keep on fucking acting. You keep on acting out what you like to act out. You know what I'm saying? And you don't look at the crowd. Bars. You look at the fucking crowd. Act out, but don't look at the fucking crowd. Bars. Holy shit, man. Fucking bars. In all seriousness, though, everybody is looking at the crowd and nobody's looking at themselves. Because of indoctrination, our parents, not our parents per se, but just indoctrination. We are all born in a family which got indoctrinated. Everybody's indoctrinated. Everybody is. And even if you claim to be woken up, which can be a thing and which is a thing, even if you're free from indoctrination, your whole life you was indoctrinated. So maybe 2 years you know better. You know better for like 2 years. You know better for 5 years. But the other 30 years you was acting out in bullshit. But the other 20 years he was acting out in bullshit. But the other 15 years he was acting out in bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like even me, for instance. I'm like into spirituality and like a spiritual person and into improving myself since I'm 15, 16. And I'm into like actively making myself a better person for like 4 years. I'm 20 now, for like 4 years, 5 years. But that doesn't mean I'm automatically 100% right because I am dealing with 15, 16 years of indoctrination. And this is everybody's battle. Even if you know better, you still are dealing with 10,000 of years with not knowing better. So don't be too harsh on yourself and take your time. This is a process after all. Life is not a switch on, switch off type of process. It is a goddamn gradual happening. It is not snap on, snap off. It is gradual. In a way, life is like fucking. Life is like fucking. Life is like giving a bitch back shots. You go in, out, in, out, in, out until you finally bust. You don't see a bitch naked and you immediately blow. I hope you don't do. It's a process. Before you blow, you go in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and then you blow. And the same thing applies with life. You expand, contract, you know better, you fail. You learn, you fail. You learn, you fail. And then you achieve what you like to achieve. You know what I'm saying? As I was saying, it's like fucking. It's like giving a bitch back shots. You go in, out, in, out, in, out until you bust. And it takes time. 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I don't know how long you last, and I don't give a fuck. This is like none of my concern, man. let's just not dive into this topic, but you know the drill, man. Everything is a process. Everything is a fucking process. Things don't happen like that, man. You don't get rid of your shame like that, man. At least not on average. Unless you're like an exception, but let's just be real. No master has fallen down from the heavens. And I don't claim to be no master. Who am I to judge? I'm dealing with things just like y'all. I'm nobody special. Just because I make a YouTube page, just because I have a YouTube page, I'm not special. Just because I make videos, I'm not Jesus Christ. I don't claim to be shit. I'm just like everybody else. Meaning, we all make mistakes. Even if you feel ashamed of yourself, alright. You still shouldn't be too hard on yourself. You should keep the pace up. You should be consistent. Because when you are consistent, you will reach your goal anyways. So don't be too hard on yourself. And life is all about ups and downs. Life is like a heartbeat. I like to look at life like a heartbeat. They even say the heart is the symbol of life, which makes perfect sense. A heart expands and contracts. It goes in, out, in, out, in, out. Goddamn, almost threw up life on camera, what the fuck? And the same shit applies with life. You fail, you succeed. You fail, you succeed. You fail and you succeed. Until you reach what you like to reach. Bars! What the fuck? No bars intended, I swear to goodness, man. Anyways, you fail and succeed until you reach what you like to reach. You know what I'm saying? So don't be too hard on yourself. You need to take your precious time when dealing with shame. Because maybe you're like 25 years old and now you know better since 2 years. You were still in shame for like a whole 23 years. So take your sweet time. It doesn't mean you should take forever and you shouldn't strive with urgency to improve yourself, but have a sense of realism, alright? Have a sense of realism is all I'm saying. Be real. This is all I'm saying. Be real. Be fucking reach out to Cameron. You said facts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Real good facts, man. Real good facts. Really good facts. Really good facts. I appreciate y'all for being here. Shout out to Cameron and Mystical Mysterio. Shout out a lot. Yeah, support is greatly appreciated. Know what I'm saying? Talking about appreciation. When it comes to acting, you will act regardless. You will do something regardless. Even if you're lazy right now, you will do something regardless. It's inevitable. So try to do something you truly like. Not even try. Do something you truly like. I get it. We all have responsibilities. And just look at me, man. We all have responsibilities beyond me. We all have responsibilities and we all need to take care of shit. But we still are able to make time for the things we like to enjoy. We're still able to make time and room for things we want to. Everybody has like time. It is just that we don't use our time efficiently. Not we, but people don't use their time efficiently. Everybody has time. Everybody has time. You have time, I have time. It is just that you don't use your time wisely. Hence, you regret your day. You say, I couldn't get shit done today because you wasn't using your time wisely. So use your time wisely. Talking about time, how late is it? I'll go for like 10 more minutes and then I will dip. And then I will dip, ladies and gentlemen. But then again, don't be too unrealistic. You can't do everything you like to do in one day. I mean, I have to sacrifice making music for making a live stream right now. I wanted to make music, but I can't because I was too busy today. And I wanted to make a live stream. You see? You have to sacrifice certain things. You cannot always do what you like to do. You know what I'm saying? Some things have to go, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean they have to go completely. There's always tomorrow. Hopefully there's tomorrow, but you know what I'm saying? Another day will come eventually. So whatever you wasn't able to do today, you can do tomorrow. But that doesn't mean you should wait until tomorrow. Still be as diligent as you can be. Still be as hardworking as you can be. But know your limits. I'm pretty much saying be real. In like a fancy ass way. Just be real. Just be real with yourself, alright? Just be fucking real. Be real as hell, man. Be fucking real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Whew. It's like exhausting to talk for 40 minutes straight, for 41 minutes straight with no breather. I'm taking no breathers because I'm like a restless ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's a new moon right now. It's a fucking new moon in Aquarius right now. And the new moon is hitting my 8th house. I have to be on spark because I like to practice as above, so below type shit. But anyways, this is not about astrology. This is not about astrology, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something after I take a sip. Whatever you do is of value. Not whatever, but what you are doing, if it is of value. When you are doing something of value, you shouldn't be ashamed of people who are judging who don't do shit of value. Like, how can you be ashamed of somebody judging, but that person is not doing anything? It doesn't make any sense. And really, logic is a good way to not even get rid, but to handle a lot of emotional turmoil. When you see something with logic and true rationality, you see how irrational and how fucking stupid certain things are to dive into as far as emotionally speaking. Some emotions, some insecurities are extremely unnecessary because they don't make any sense. So when you stop being so overly emotional and when you start to use your head for once in a while, you see how retarded these insecurities are. You know what I'm saying? So use your head once in a while, no more pause, huge pause. Use your fucking head once in a while, huge pause. You know the drill? Huge pause, huge fucking pause, man. But anyways, any fucking ways, give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. I'm getting cold for some strange reason, give me 2 seconds, this is important. We are right back, ladies and gentlemen, we are right back, man. One last thing before I go, I'll leave you guys with this. Have your priorities straight. Have your motherfucking priorities straight. Don't be no reprobate. Bars. When you have your priorities straight, you don't dive into shame in the first place. Bars, once again, what the fuck? I'm like a lyrical genius. I know I'm an effortless lyrical genius today. What the fuck? Not even today, always. When your bitch ass has your priorities straight, you won't dive and you won't act out of your means, because you can only be ashamed if you act out of your means. When you act out of your means, you do shit you don't even mean to do. As literally as it sounds. As literal and as stupid as it sounds. Everybody has norms and values, so you just need to focus on your norms and values, and you need to stick to your norms and values. Because even if somebody judges you for your true norms and values, you know that person ain't shit in the first place. Because good norms and good values are things which don't harm anybody. So keep that shit in mind. Have a clear set of values and a clear set of norms, because norms and values help with shame immensely. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I think I will leave you guys with this type of information. And I'll see you guys soon enough. I'll stick for like 40 more seconds. My stomach kinda hurts. I ate like some nasty ass food before I made this live stream, and what the fuck? I will never eat before making a live stream again, man. That shit tastes atrocious as hell. That shit tastes atrocious as a motherfucker, man. So yo, if you have any question, feel free to do so, because I will leave in 20 seconds. Feel free to ask. Fuck this shit. I'm exhausted, man. I'm like you 100, man. I'm exhausted, man. I'm fucking exhausted, man. Yeah, boys, exhausted. Your boy will catch you guys. I will catch y'all soon enough. I appreciate y'all for watching. Shout y'all out. Have a nice day. And keep on remembering, don't be afraid to be judged, because people who judge live in darkness. With that being said, I will dip, I will head out. Peace out. I appreciate you. Come on, end.